I'm going to cover the word balance today. Okay, this is a super catchy, super hot word, balance. I need balance. I have to find balance. Where's this balance? I get this word so much, and I get so many women coming to me asking me, like, I just want my life to be balanced. And maybe you even said that before. I know that I've said that in the past. I want balance. That's kind of my ultimate goal. Total ultimate balance, right? Now, I'm at a phase in my life right now where if you were to compare me to the average person, I'd say I'm pretty imbalanced right now. I'm probably the opposite of balanced. I have a lot of people very close to me in my life telling me I work too hard, telling me I go to the gym too much, telling me I'm too strict with my food, telling me I'm boring because I don't party anymore. So I would consider myself pretty imbalanced comparatively to what the average is. Now, here's what I've been thinking. Who says balance is a good thing? In fact, if you really think about it, what does this imaginary balance you're looking for even look like? Have you thought that far? Balance sounds good, but what does actual balance look like manifested in your life? What do you actually think it is? Right? Because to me, the word balance means equilibrium. And when I hear the word equilibrium, I hear equal, right? Equal effort. Well, I can tell you right now, I am not putting equal effort into the people and the things in my life. I'm not equally spreading my efforts and my thoughts and my focus. And I don't think I want to, right? If balance is equality of time and effort, well, I don't want to give 25% here, 25% here, 25% here. I only have 100% effort and focus to give. And I don't want to spread it evenly around my life. I can't. It's too draining. I'll be half good at everything. I'll be half committed. I'll be half focused. I will never be great at anything. I will never be amazing or excited. I'll be good. I'll be okay. That doesn't sound appealing to me. 50% being half into something doesn't sound like a recipe for happiness, does it? Can you get anything done to the level you want or in the time frame you want if we were only putting in 50%? No. So, what I'm starting to believe is maybe balance is not this great thing. Maybe the ultimate balance is choosing where to be imbalanced. Maybe the ultimate balance is choosing, optimal word being choosing where you want your imbalance to be. And as your life changes and progresses, and as you go through phases, you shift your imbalance accordingly. Choosing it. Because if you would describe yourself imbalanced right now, to some degree, I bet you didn't choose it. You're not intentionally trying to be imbalanced, right? If we're a little frazzled, overwhelmed, disorganized, anxious, we could have our shit together a little bit more. That's not intentional, right? We're not intentionally imbalanced. Maybe true balance is accepting there will never be 100% equal balance. True balance is you choosing at this point in your life right now, where should the imbalance be? And choosing it. It is voluntary imbalance, not involuntary imbalance. And the reason we get unhealthy or overweight in the first place is because of involuntary imbalance. Really, right? Life is too much. We're putting everybody else first. We're too stressed. We're too busy. That's involuntary imbalance that we don't really have control over, or that life kind of places on us. And if the goal is to not feel that way anymore, maybe we just take back the word imbalance. Maybe we take back control. We choose where to be imbalanced. Because if you want to be the best at what you do, if you want to be the best at who you are, don't you think you have to become a little obsessed to be the best? Think of people, the best of the best at what they do or who they are. The best business owners, the best coaches, the best athletes, the best motivational speakers, the best writers, whatever. They are obsessed to some level, right? And how on earth do you have balance when you are obsessed? And the answer is you don't. So inherently, by wanting to be the best, you must have an imbalance. If you say you want balance and to be the best, that's counterproductive and it doesn't make sense. And therefore, if you are listening to me right now, that means you do want to be the best. Obviously, right? You know that you've unlocked some potential along your life. You know you've made it through some shit. You know what you're made of, but there's also more to discover. There's more potential to reach. But we're not going to find it. I can tell you, you're not going to find it by pursuing balance, which is crazy. I sound crazy because everybody's preaching balance, work-life balance, family life balance, right? But can you ever be fully neutral across the board? Never happens. It never happens. Even if it's just slight variances, it will never be 100% neutral. So you will inherently become imbalanced if you are pursuing your best self. That is a reality. And that could be a mind-blowing reality that takes you to the next level by accepting it, or it could be something that's really a hard pill to swallow for you because the word balanced is something that we associate happiness with a lot of, and we hear it a lot in the media and we hear it a lot in life, and maybe we've said it a lot throughout our life, so we associate it with our identity and our character, and that's someone who we are, and we're really good at balance, or we're really good at pursuing balance, and maybe that's our purpose. But I'm telling you, you're going to end up in a circle because you're always going to feel like a step behind because you will never have full balance. So why don't we, instead of pursuing it, redefine it? And we just define it as chosen imbalance. And that's what you ladies have an opportunity to do right now, to do along this journey, to choose your imbalance. I'm going to be obsessed with being the best version of me. I'm going to pursue it relentlessly. Pursue it relentlessly. Relentlessly means some sacrificing, right? And that the amount of sacrifice is up to you. This is your journey. But it would be silly to think there isn't something there. And this is only for a while, right? Because as life changes, we shift our imbalance somewhere else, right? Maybe now is the time that you are selfish. Maybe now is the time where you're selfless. Where's your imbalance gonna go? It's up to you, but you have to ask them what's on the highest priority list. What's gonna be the biggest return of investment of my time and energy at this point in my life right now? What is your ROI, ladies? Have you checked lately? Are you wasting your energy and time? Are you spending this time, money you don't have? Are you wasting it and getting nothing in return? And that's where a lot of us sit. And we don't know why we're stuck. Because we're pursuing the wrong thing, right? Or we're trying to pursue too many things. Or we're viewing the pursuing incorrectly. Maybe it's just you gotta double down. Maybe you gotta stop justifying why it's okay to be selfish in your head. What you want is what you want. You don't have to explain it even to me. You're allowed to want whatever you want. You're allowed to be and do and say whatever you want. That's the beautiful thing about North America. Freedom of speech. And no one needs to question you, or you at least don't need to answer. But you do need to ask yourself, what is most important? And then you have to create an imbalanced lifestyle around it. You cannot be great at everything. You need to take because it's hard enough. It's hard enough to be healthy and lose weight and be the best you. It's hard enough to choose that path. It took you a long time to realize that this is the path that you need to pursue. And now we're on it. It's hard enough. Do not distract yourself and waste yourself and dilute your attention by thinking something else is more important. if you've already had that conversation with yourself and decided that this is the most important. Don't dilute your energy. Life will grow where you put the energy. If you want to accelerate growth in one area, take your energy back. It's okay. Take it back. You choose the imbalance. Otherwise, life will choose it for you. And you will complain, and it will be the source of your excuses, and it will cause you a lot of pain. You choose your imbalance, or life will choose it for you. And when life chooses it, that is when you're the most stressed out, the most anxious, the most overwhelmed. And I bet when you gained the most weight, it is when life threw the craziest imbalance at you. Am I right? The most inconvenient imbalance, the most inconvenient trauma, stress, whatever you want to label it. Because we didn't take control of our imbalance, or at least we didn't know that that was an option. And now we know. How cool is that? I'm saying it's okay if you're not perfect. You don't have to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect meal prepper, the perfect athlete, the perfect career woman, the perfect sister, and you're an aunt, and you're a this, and you volunteer, and you're trying to learn how to knit, whatever it is you're doing. Like, how can you be the best you? Right? Like, if you choose anywhere, start with your health. Like, that just makes sense. That's where you need to be. That's where all your efforts need to go. Don't dilute and distract. That just is what it is. You go ask the most successful people in the world, and they have an obsession with whatever it is they became successful at. They're obsessed with it. And we judge them, you know? We judge them and say they must be really unhappy. Or we judge them and try to unjustify why we don't want that. And maybe you don't, but don't underestimate the power that harnessing this intentional obsession can do. Intentional obsession. There we go. That's the word. Intentional. And we really underestimate it. It's surrounded by bad things. All I hear from the people closest to me right now is how I'm doing too much. I'm not enjoying life. Let me tell you, I've never enjoyed life more. I've never been more happy than I am right now at this very moment in my life. And I worked very hard to be able to say that and mean it. Not just say it because it sounds good. Not just say it because we want to inspire everybody else. And I got here because I'm obsessed. And I accepted that there will always be some level of imbalance. And it doesn't have to be drastic, or it can be. It's not right or wrong. And don't judge somebody else's imbalance. Because I guarantee everybody judging you, you go pull back the curtain on their life. It's a mess behind there. It's an absolute disaster. They've got cracks in their foundation everywhere. They're just trying to create more cracks in yours because they're too lazy to fix all the cracks in theirs, because there's a lot of cracks. I don't blame them. It's a lot to do. And so if you take anything away from this call, ladies, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to sometimes feel like this is too important or taking up too much of your time, or you're too serious or too strict, or people are complaining too much about the new me. Like, it's okay to feel those things, but understand why you're feeling them. Because greatness is not average. Greatness is not ordinary. People don't understand what being great takes. And so they look at it as different, and different is bad. And we shame bad. We're scared. We're afraid of bad. Greatness takes uncommon amounts of effort, and it takes an uncommon lifestyle. So if you're listening to common people, if you're modeling your life after common thoughts or beliefs, you will live a common life. But everybody on this call, everybody listening to me, is capable of way more than that. What is that? You're not average. You deserve to meet your above average self, the super you. You're there. But you have to deviate from the path of the ordinary. Society has taught us to fit in, to stick to what everybody else is doing, because that keeps us safe. And that's served us. You know, it's not a bad thing. It serves us at a point in our life. It helps us get our roots and our bearings. But at this point, you have to ask yourself, how much is following the ordinary path going to get me now? Because I followed it in the first place, and that didn't get me to a very happy place, or at least not an extraordinary place. So you have to cut out the distractions and ask yourself, why have you been distracted? Or why do you get distracted? Why do you put your energy over there, or put too much energy over there? Why? And most of the times, it's because you think you need to. It's not even because you want to, right? We all have that one relative that we feel obligated to keep in contact with, when really, if they weren't related to us, we'd want nothing to do with them, right? Or maybe we have more than one. But why? What happens if you stop contacting them? What happens? They get pissed? The rest of the family talks crap about you? Well, okay, well, now we know how the family views you. Guess we don't need them either. And that's an extreme version, but you get my point. You get my point. Where is this obligation to follow the norm, to fit in, to listen to other people's opinion of you? Why do you feel obligated to do it? If you are pursuing a truly great goal, a truly uncommon, unaverage, extraordinary goal, you cannot think like everybody else. And if you're not thinking like everybody else, you definitely won't act like everybody else. So you should be able to compare your life to somebody else and list the differences. You should be able to do that. This is why I'm different. This is why I'm uncommon. This is why I'm extraordinary. You should be able to list the differences of your lifestyle compared to somebody else, because you are acting against the grain. You are consciously choosing to act against the grain. Everybody is imbalanced. Nobody is balanced. Not even the Dalai Lama, not even Buddha. I promise you, they were not balanced. They mastered being okay with imbalance. And they chose how to use imbalance throughout their life to get to that content, that happy, that nirvana state. Use imbalance to fuel you and accelerate you forward faster. Don't slow yourself down because you think you're missing out. Who told you you're missing out? Weigh both options. One of them keeps you feeling mediocre. One of them makes you feel really different. And different is scary. And you don't really know because you've never been there before, at whatever your next level is. So you don't know if you'll like it. You don't know if where you're going to put your imbalance next is 100% going to pay off or is the right option. You don't know. Like, you really don't. But I'm going to tell you, you just choose. Just choose. Don't let life choose for you this time. And many of you ladies listening have chosen to make health your imbalance. I am going to distance myself from friends. I am going to limit how many parties I go to, or I am going to set boundaries around food, around my husband, around my this. You've become imbalanced. So I would say, lean in. Lean in. What are you afraid of? More people talking shit about you? Oh, well, welcome to the club. What are you afraid of? Missing out? Okay, we tried it. Now we know. We don't want to live in the what ifs. There's a lot of unhappiness in the what ifs. And the imbalance is super exciting because you push yourself, because you really do feel different. When you choose where we're going to be imbalanced, where we're going to be obsessed, where we're going to take our wasted energy back from, and where are we going to put it forward now? When we choose, there is power. And when you feel powerful, your mind is clear and you make better decisions. You make important decisions. You make decisions you never thought you'd have the balls to make. Big scale, small scale. Whatever that means in your life. You make powerful decisions. Mediocre people make mediocre decisions. Average people make average decisions. So we cannot listen to them. We cannot let the world tell us to be balanced anymore. We can't. It's going to cripple us. We're always going to feel less than. We're always going to feel like we're missing out. We're always going to feel like, what's wrong with us? Why can't we juggle this all? Why is not every area of my life perfect? It won't be. Never. You know, you were fighting with your husband last night. Oh, well, does that mean you're a crap wife? No. You just try again. But people would view that as an imbalance, right? You're struggling with your husband, but your health is great. That's an imbalance. Pick one and focus. There will always be a deficit. Decide the order of your deficits of most important to least important, and then obsess. Do not waste your energy on the things at the bottom of your list. Because I'm telling you right now, you're already imbalanced. There's some imbalance, big or small, you know it. There's an imbalance somewhere that maybe you've been actively trying to fix, or now you're going to actively try to fix. But ask yourself, is it really bad? Like why is that imbalance bad? And then counter it with imbalance. Fix imbalance with just conscious imbalance. There's nothing wrong with it. And I want to give you that freedom, because that's life. Life is a mixture and a whirlwind of order and chaos. Always back and forth, order, chaos. You can't have order if you didn't know what chaos was like. And you couldn't have chaos if there wasn't something to mess up your order. It's this beautiful, chaotic freaking twists and turns. It's devastatingly beautiful. It's a blessing and a curse. So use it. Nothing's black and white. Don't speak like that and don't think like that. You are not wrong. You are not right. You could be more right. You could be less wrong. You're never wrong. You're never right. Just what's better? What's better for me right now? And I guarantee it's choosing your imbalance, which is at least the first step. So choose your imbalance when you get off this call. And then if we take it a step further, if this is where you're at, you need to become obsessed with that imbalance. Double down and make it even more imbalanced. Separate the balance from the imbalance even more. Make it even bigger of an imbalance. And that's up to you if that's the step you need to take. But at least get off this call and say, where am I going to double down? Where can I take my energy back, and where am I going to refocus it? And watch things grow a hell of a lot faster. It's a very interesting concept. I'm never a fan of the word balance. It's a beautiful word. And I mean, if you just think of it surface level, of course we all want to achieve that. But it's just like, how could you be perfectly balanced? The world is not perfectly balanced. We have natural disasters. We've got, so much stuff going on. The world is not. You can be perfectly imperfect, but you won't feel perfectly imperfect if you don't accept that you won't be perfect. You can only accept where you're at or where you're going to go if you don't expect yourself to be this unrealistic, beautiful, zen, balanced, I've got everything under control all the time. You're trying to be great. Be the best you. I don't know how many people you know in your life that are the best them. Seriously. Can you think of any that are truly maxed out their potential? I'll wait. I can't really think of anybody. It's crazy. So why don't you be that person? Why don't you pursue that? What more worthy cause could there possibly be? If you're looking for a reason why we're here, Pick that one. What better reason could there possibly be? That's a good place to start. Guarantee you, you'll find some type of answer there, some type of happiness, some type of weird balance, weird, undefined balance. But that's what we're going for. Don't get boxed in by what the world tells you should want and should have. You can create whatever you want. There are no rules. There are definitely no rules. And start playing like that. Color outside the lines. Don't be afraid to be obsessed. Who says that's bad? It's just uncommon. And we want to be uncommon. Okay, ladies? So, thank you for listening to me rant about balance. Really sit with that. See what that means for you. If you're somebody that's used that word a lot, maybe you can start to, you don't have to not use the word. You just have to make sure you know what that word means to you. Define what that means. So everybody should be either not using that word when we get off this call or finding a definition for the word, and then figure out what imbalance am I choosing at this phase in my life right now. And when you know that, your actions align with it. So you don't ever feel guilty, or you don't ever wonder if you made the right decision or what you should do next. You can always go back to, what am I doubling down on right now? Does that align with it? Yes, then I made the right decision. No, then I have to make another decision. And that can be your guiding principle for the next little while.